Hello. Hey, Manor folks. This is Amy. This is Dr. Julie. My goodness, we have not seen you for months. And I think Amy had some fun with the beach this summer.
Yes.
She was talking with you.
You haven't been since then?
No.
Oh,
I haven't been since last spring, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even know if I told you I got a new horse. So my old horse Diamond got a better rider, and I'm happy with my black horse Forge. So anyway, we are here today to welcome you to pick up where Sandy left off last week. She spoke about the fruit of the Spirit. And I want to just remind you of some of the really basic and important things that she shared with us. So she shared 4 ideas that the fruit of the Spirit is singular, it's supernatural, it involves surrender, and we need to experience growth, or we will see growth in it. So let me just review those because it's very, very important. When I talk about the fruit of the Spirit as singular, meaning it's fruit of the Spirit, not fruits of the Spirit. And what that actually looks like is the soccer ball here. So this is one ball, this is a soccer ball, but it has what we call facets or faces or pieces of it. And on this, even though you can't read it because the camera is backwards, it has all 9 of the fruit of the Spirit. This is important because if you're having trouble with one of these facets, it means you don't have the whole ball, if I said that correctly. You're having trouble with love, it means you're probably missing some of the other parts. You're having trouble with peace, you're probably missing some of the other parts. You can't settle for just 1 or 2 or 4 of these things. You need to take all 9 of them. So that's why Amy was kind enough to put that in the soccer ball. Okay, so that is the single nature of the fruit of the Spirit. The next thing Sandy talked about is that it's supernatural, which means it comes from the heavenly realm and in a download of power that we need to receive. And that part of receiving is critical because you can have the power, it's going to come down at you, but if you're not saying, yes, Lord, I want it, yes, Lord, I want to use it, it's not going to be effective. And one of the ways that we actually can retrieve or receive that is through an act called surrendering, to surrender. And I'm going to show you, I think I'll show you this right now. So I have this cartoon, if you will. This is a little girl saying, oh, but I love it, God. And God, Jesus, is saying, trust me, just trust me. So if you'll notice, the little girl has a tiny old teddy bear. And are you helping me with this? Okay, thank you. And Jesus is hiding behind his back a big new fresh teddy bear because he wants to give her something better than what she's holding on to. But she's going to have to surrender that in order to receive what Jesus has got. So that concept of surrender is really, really crucial. Thank you for doing that, Amy. And then the last thing that, I know there was another story. How are we doing on time? I think I'm going to let the dog story go. So if you remember, Sandy talked about Tanner and how she had to surrender Tanner over to God because he had a paralysis in his legs. And if we have time, I can share another story about a dog that I had to surrender over to God for similar reasons. But the last thing that Sandy shared with us is growth, that because this is fruit, we can experience and expect growth. And what I do want to say to you is that if you're learning from us and in these Bible studies and trying to develop your relationship with God and you do not feel growth, I would go to somebody and ask for help because growth is a part of our relationship with God. So those are the 4 things that Sandy talked about. So let's see. Yes, one of these, Sandy closed with this comment from Tim Tebow, and she said, this is Tim Tebow's quote, God created us by love, in love, and for love. So let me make that really clear. The whole reason we are existing is because God is love and made us to love. So if you wonder what your purpose in living is, it's because God made you in love, for love, by his love. And what he wants from us is to love him, to love ourselves, and to love our neighbors. And if we can do all 3 things, it's a transformative power in the world. So that is what we're talking about, love. And Amy is going to, I think, talk in more depth about that, right?
Yeah. So Erica has, as sheet to pass out here. It's sort of like a wheel, spokes of the wheel. Let me move this up close. It's the fruit of the Spirit, and the scripture is written on the top. And these are the 9 facets going around with love in the middle. So yours is going to look like this one today. And you see that it's empty, so what you're going to do is you'll get a piece of sticker paper, and on the first one you're going to write the word love. And because all of these characteristics are bound by love, love is the most important, you're going to take off the sticker. I can do this. It's going to look backwards, but it's us, love. And you're going to put love in the center. Then, next week, when Sandy goes to do another one, you'll take out the stickers and we're going to add to them until you have all the spokes of the fruit of the Spirit. And today is love.
Right, so she's getting ready to talk about 1 Corinthians. I just want to say the 9 fruit of the Spirit so you recognize how they're connected. So the first one is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, tolerance, and self-control. So those are the characters of God. The character of Jesus is exhibited in all 9 facets of the fruit of the Spirit. And I also got another quote from Psalm 112:1 from the Passion Translation. I love this one. Everyone who loves the Lord will be blessed beyond expectation.
No, I don't have that one, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
I added that this morning.
Good.
So you're down in here.
Do you want me to talk about this part
sure.
that I wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was thinking on how to approach this, I came up with the scripture, 1 John 4:16. It says, God is love, and all who live in love live in God, and God lives in them. As we live in God, our love grows more perfect. So God is our loving Father in heaven, and He loves us perfectly, just the way we are. He loved us before we ever loved Him, and there's evidence all around us of His love. So if you're ever in doubt, they say, just look outside, look at all the blessings that He has given us. Could be in nature, if you take a look at fall and all the wonderful things that we're experiencing right now outside. It could be people in your lives. God shows His love through people He sends to you to bless you or serve you, but in return, He expects you to serve and bless others. Might be in the food that you get every day. He's showing you love. He's providing for you. He's provided for your shelter there, for your clothing. Another way that God shows His love is through others. So He sends others, sorry, that's the same one, to help us, to bless us, and ask us to bless others. And we're going to carry that on later in our talk today. Another way God shows His love is through His Son, Jesus. One of God's greatest gifts in